Hello everyone, my name is Rez, and today we're going over my guild's kill of Heroic Kil'Jaeden, and I'll be telling you how to tank it. Now, a lot of guilds have killed this on Heroic, and a lot of different tanks have done it. I'm just going over a broad way of how to tank it. The methods really don't change, and I might say things that are Brewmaster specific, but I'll try and make it applicable to other specs. Alright, so here's the pull, and you want to start and tank him right in the middle here, and then face him away from your raid. We're facing him back towards where he was originally, and all the DPS are stacked up behind him. Armageddon Rain is coming out, and as a tank, you really only want to soak this while Kil'Jaeden's actually in combat, if the thing is right behind you, because you don't really want to move the boss. If you're the off tank, you can go and do whatever you want. So he starts doing Fell Claws here. Fell Claws is his cleave, and every stack that he does, or every attack that he does, gives a stacking debuff. When he gets up to 5, it's going to be hitting you like a truck. So you want to use a cooldown, or make sure your mitigation is up for sure, around 3, 4, and 5. Once you're at 5 stacks, you want to have your off tank taunt off, like Spew did there, the Death Knight, and I went back into the DPS. We're about to transition him, and during this point, you're going to have the Shadow Orb coming down in the middle. You want to be stacked up close there, but not directly in the middle where the thing is dropping down. In the intermission phase, everyone is on the exact same playing field. You want to do mechanics. Depending on how you do it, the tanks are going to soak the big Armageddon Rains, but in this kill, we decided to use only immunities. And then you want to go over to where the Shadow Orb is dropping down. And then the laser's coming out. Depending on your raid comp, you may or may not be chosen to stand in this, but just be ready to, just in case you need to. Another Armageddon Rain is going to be coming down here. So again, same thing. You want to be doing mechanics just like everybody else. After this, he's going to be doing Bursting Dread Flames, another Shadow Orb, and then he's coming back. So here's the Shadow Orb. Bursting Dread Flames are coming out now, and he's going to be coming back. It's going to be very similar to Phase 1 here. You're going to want to tank him away from the raid, swap off at 5 stacks. Alright, so he starts Fell Claws on me. Every time he hits me with this, I try and purify my stagger away. As you see here, I didn't go above 100% stagger, and if I did, I didn't stay there for very long. He's going to do Fell Claws on my off tank here. And at this point, after he does the Fell Claws, he's going to do a new mechanic. It's called Wailing Reflection. This is on the tank, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for him to get 5 stacks, and I'm not going to taunt off right away until that debuff goes out. During this phase, there's a lot of movement, especially with the Shadow Orbs, so you want to be careful that he's always away from the raid. Alright, so I got 5 stacks, and the tank ad went down, so my off tank here is going to take it off me. And he got knocked back from the Shadow Orb, and he's not going to move the boss from where he landed, because he can't, because the Fell Claws are up. And after those Fell Claws are done, I'm going to taunt him back and bring him to the middle of the room, reset his position. Shadow Orb's going to be coming down the middle platform. It always does this at this point. I have my Transcendence down, so I'm going to swap right back to it, make sure he doesn't move that much. If you have any movement ability, you want to make sure he stays as close to the middle of the platform as possible. And there's a lot of damage going on here with the Fell Claws. Make sure if you need it, call for a healer cooldown. I'm trying to hold on to my cooldown as long as possible. Lasers are out, more Armageddons are out, as well as the ads. We're going to get into transition phase here really soon. We're going to nuke down these ads as fast as we can and get back on the boss. At this point, there's a new Armageddon and a new Wailing Reflection coming out soon. You do not want those going off. At this point, if the Armageddon goes off, it's not the end of the world. But if the Wailing Reflection does, it's probably a wipe because you can't attack it or taunt it in the Shadow phase. So we did everything there. We meet the quote-unquote DPS check. We didn't have an Armageddon or a Wailing Reflection. Here, we're going to try and stay stacked up on me as much as possible, move as a group. We knew where Illidan was there because we had a hunter with track humanoids. At this point, if you have death grips or stuns, you want to use them and keep these ads interrupted and brought in as fast as possible. We have 2 Death Knights here, so we had 2 death grips. We had Gorfine's Grasp. I don't think he used it though. And then AoE stuns at a range like Lightning Surge Totem. We had 3 of those. And you just want to burn down these ads as fast as possible and try and stick together. It makes it easier for the entire raid. And now we're transitioning into phase 3. At this point, you want to stack up on the boss. Again, face him away. He does Darkness of 1,000 Souls here. Big damage going out, obviously. He's me tearing a rift. You want to make sure you know where that is because that does come into play and it's a mechanic for the entire raid later. Fell Claws are on me again. I'm just going to take the 5 stacks, and we're swapping off. At this point, the Obelisks are coming out, and they do their attacks in the 4 cardinal directions. You want to make sure you are fighting him in a place where you or the melee are not getting hit by it. Right here's a pretty okay location where we're fighting him. I think a couple people did get hit by it still. Bursting Dread Flames are going out. Spread those out. Fell Claws are on my off-tank spew there. I'm taking him back. And again at the movement, you cannot have him turn around into the raid. So I'm always making sure that I'm keeping him up, facing away, and I'm pulling him back away from the Obelisks. And we have Darkness of 1,000 Souls coming up right now. Here you want to be close to the rift, and you want to jump into the rift right around 1 or 2 seconds left. When you're standing in the rift, you're taking just short of 1,000,000 damage per second, so you want to jump in at the last second for the Darkness of 1,000 Souls, and then get back out. He's opening up a new rift. And throughout the entire course of the fight, the tank mechanic doesn't really change. You just swap off for 5 stacks of Fell Claws, and you want to make sure that he's faced away from the raid. It's a pretty easy fight for tanks. It's just there's a lot of damage going out. More Obelisk, more Fell Claws, and the Fire Orb is coming out. In Phase 3, it's a complete shit show. You have Obelisks, you have Darkness of 1,000 Souls, you have Fire Orbs, you have Bursting Dread Flames, you have Focused Dread Flames. It gets really chaotic. You just have to stay focused and make sure everyone is doing what they need to do. Alright, he's doing Darkness again.
Just nuke him here.
And then here's our kill.
Stay focused.
I'll drop Darkness.
Ready to get in?
Don't risk it, don't risk it.
3, 2, 1, get in the rift.
Kill.
Kill the boss.
There's
the kill.
Good shit, guys.
Fucking
Fucking holy shit. That was horrible.
Good
you,
fucking job,
Armageddon.
everyone. Good fucking job, everybody.
Thank God.
Armageddon. Bitch.
Man,
Oh my God, I got the fucking trinket.
Holy fuck.
Nice work, everyone.
Good job. Alright, good
Alright, so quick overall recap. It's a pretty easy fight for tanks. You need to make sure Kil'Jaeden is facing away from the raid. You need to make sure when you do move the boss, when you do have to move the boss, he's still facing away. In phase 3, move out for the Obelisks. Swap off on 5 stacks of Fell Claws. If you don't swap off at 5 and you take 1 or you swap too early, you're going to get a lot of stacks, and it's going to be really hard for the healers to keep up with you. Save your cooldowns for, I would say, about 3, 4, or 5 stacks of Fell Claws. You can usually take 1 or 2 pretty easily, and it gets pretty bad from there. Yeah, but in the intermission phases, you have to do mechanics like anybody else. But don't soak the Armageddons unless you're the off tank or unless it's on the boss. Overall, I really like this fight. I like this fight more than Heroic Gul'dan. It was harder, it was more challenging, and it was a lot of fun. And we're going to start Mythic soon, and you'll see videos from that. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.